Hi, so in this video we are going to continue working on the application. So we have, like in the previous video, we ended at this situation. We have like the map and we can move around, use the buttons, and when we click somewhere, the map is centered upon that location. So it resets the activity place, basically. So I want to look into the Trello board. Here we have the things we need to do, and the add location data to the activity details. We did this already. Add the date and time picker for activity. Oh well, let me do this thing here, which is like a quick win to start off this video, which is visualize the map into the activity detail. So here we have like our activity form, but say we go into the code here, and inside the app.js file we are going to set, let me minimize these things, I'm going to set the activities is the default state, default screen, sorry. So when I click Fun in London, this activity has already the as the location data, because inside the application data activities indexdb, in the diary.lol database we have the activities store, which contains this item here, the Fun in London activity. Here we have the location object and the lat and lng properties. So what I want to do is I want to show a little map which is not interactive. It's just going to show the location. So this should be even simpler than what we did yesterday in the other video. So I had this map picker component. I'm going to copy this. Let me show the sidebar. So I'm going to copy this into, well, let me make an activity detail folder, because it's a folder, activity detail folder, and inside here I'm going to use the activity location .js file will contain the activity location component, activity location. That's the activity location component. We initialize the map, and we so we get the location object which contains like the latitude and longitude. So I think that yes, we can use the location here. Set location is not something we are going to pass here because we are not editing the location. Let's use this JSX for the time being, and I'm just going to, so everything here should be working. I'm just going to change this map code here. So this code, so in the previous lesson I basically added this marker in the location, and then I set a click event handler. I'm going to remove the click event handler because the map is going to be static, and so yeah, we can use everything in here. We are going to have a location this time, so I don't provide any defaults. So this should be already fine for me. Set location is not something I'm going to pass here, so we can remove the parentheses. Now let's use this component into the detail here. So I'm going to copy this to the activity detail folder, and the nice VS Code tells me to update the paths that include this component. I'm going to save all, because as you can see here, this component activities.js was edited to change the path for this component detail here. Alright, I can also rename this into activity detail. I think so. Activity detail. So, right, activity detail. Then I want to rename this activity detail. Yes, update the location everywhere this is used. It's only used in activity.js. So here, yeah, you always need to check what VS Code is doing, because it actually freaked out adding this name at the end, which I don't need. Okay, so activity detail. Then I need to update the JSX, and it's all fine. Let me see if it's actually all fine. Funny none. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the activity detail component, and before the description I'm going to, well, first I need to import activity location from dot slash, which means the current folder slash activity location. I don't need to specify .js. This is my dog. It's not a cow. Okay, so I can use this in the JSX now. Activity location, and I'm going to pass the location object, which is current activity dot location. So let me save, and let's go here. So cannot read property lat of undefined. So apparently we have the location object is undefined. Why? So if this is undefined, I'm going to pass an empty object. Let me see. Define undefined. Maybe 0, 0 to test. This is not going to. This is not a valid syntax here. Yeah, what I can do is I can handle this case here in initialize map. So if dot location, I'm just going to return, and also if there is no location dot lat or location dot long return. All right. So yeah. So basically what happens, the reason I had this error is because the component is actually being rendered without any data, even if I don't have a location selected. So this is something I need to fix. But first let's click this activity and see if the map shows up. No. Set activities. So let me see here, activity detail, activity location. We have this error on line 31. So line 31 is this one. Map instance dot off. Why? Cannot read property of null. Alright, since I added this code here, we introduced the possibility that the map is null, so that the map instance property stays null, otherwise it's always initialized. So I could like avoid this case by preventing this component to be loaded, but let's also say like if map instance, I'm just going to return. This will prevent any problem like this. So yeah, we can see the map here, and when we click around, nothing happens. The location stays in the same place. We can still move around in the map, which is something I don't want to do. JS static map. Saving leaflet, no. No, generate static, no. Let me just go on the website of leaflet in the docs. Maybe we have for statics. So no, creation, maybe in creation, yeah, the map options are prefer canvas, attribution control, subcontrols. So we can set all the controls here to be false. For example, close pop-up on click. If you remember, like, let me choose, yeah, map container is being reused by another instance. This is one problem I need to fix, but I'm trying to fix another problem now. Let me see here. Okay, I have this activity location. If I click, the pop-up goes away. So I'm I'm going to pass. Yeah, as you can see here, we have the options for the map. Here I say, so close pop-up on click false. We have other options here. We have zoom snap, forces the map, no, zoom delta, don't care. Track resize, maybe we can leave this. Box zoom, the map can be zoomed by dragging the mouse, no, false. I want this to be as static as possible. Double click zoom, false. Dragging, false. This is going to prevent dragging around the thing. Zoom control, false. And also attribution control. What is an attribution control? Attribution data knob. Well, I need to have the attribution data, I think. Alright, so this already reloaded, and now. Oh, well, let me see, because I'm adding this to the wrong place, I think. L.map. Yeah, I was adding this to the wrong object. L.map, map ID. Yes, we have an ID, and then we need to have the object with the options. Alright, so this reloads. Yes, as you can see, I cannot drag anywhere, and if I click, we have like the pop-up stays there. Well, I think I found a bug. Yeah, it went away. Well, oh, I will add a marker. Bind pop-up activity location. Let me see. Open pop-up. So the marker is used to display a clickable, draggable icon on the map. Let me see if I have. Maybe. Draggable, autopan, speed. So this is where we can also like introduce the functionality to drag the marker around. I don't know if we are going to use this. Set icon. So we can use an icon, changes the marker icon. The icon can be blue icon leaflet uses for markers by default. Let me see l.marker. So I can add an object here. The icon is going to be l.icon.default. Let me see if this works this way. No, because probably I need to do this. Seems to work, but I'm also adding this pop-up here. So maybe I just need to add this code. No. So icon. So I don't have a default marker. Let me see like this. So we have two problems here. The first is that I can't add the marker, and I need to figure out this. Right now I'm just going to keep this activity location here, and the second thing is that scrolling is enabled. But maybe we can leave the scrolling so we can like have a better idea where the activity took place. Wow, the marker is completely... Yes, this thing is completely unrelated to where I set the activity, which was in London. And also, zooming in and out is not going to play well with this. Depending on where the mouse is, where I zoom out, it's going to change the centering of the pop-up here. This is not something I like. So, back to square one. Let me see. So marker shouldn't be this hard, right? L.marker is used to display clickable, draggable icons on the map. So I think that this should be already working. Add to map instance. Let me reuse the location. And let me comment this out. I should see a marker here. Where is that? So I can... let me inspect this map here. And as you can see, the mouse changes here because we actually have the marker. So the marker, oh, no, yes, this invalid URL. Why is this an invalid URL? So the marker is a PNG which is encoded as database 64 value, as you can see here. This says that it's not a valid. But I think we have the markers here in the source leaflet images marker icon. This is the icon I want to display. So probably what I can do, let me figure this out. Well, I could copy this into a location that I can access from the JavaScript, which is public probably. Let me add an image folder. I'm going to copy the marker icon. Let me see if this is working. So I should have like image marker icon. Okay, I can access this using the public folder. So what I can do in activity location is I can set the marker icon. So here I can say icon is this thing here, which is relative to the domain. No, create icon is not a function. Wrong. So icon okay, I need to set icon is an object, so my icon, and var my icon is constant. My icon is this object here, and the URL is this. Okay, so let's see, remove the shadow. Okay, it's kind of working. I just need to, yeah, it's kind of working. What I need to do now, and it's also more precise when I zoom out, as you can see here. I just need to adjust the size of this thing. What is probably, I don't know, 55. Icon anchor, pop-up anchor. Maybe I can remove all this. Let me see. Looking good. Probably I can also remove the size, and it will figure it out automatically. Sort of. No, it's not going to. It needs a size. It actually also needs the anchor and the pop-up anchor, because otherwise it's going to move away, because I changed the size here. So basically we have the size of the icon and also the anchor for the icon. So without that, the anchor does not know where it should be like pointing at. As you can see here, it's pointing in the same place even if I zoom out. So if I didn't have this zoom thing, I didn't have any problem, but I don't know. So probably what I can do is like 65 and 64. Let me see. It doesn't need to be super precise, because if we zoom out, okay, no, it's going to be good. Okay, let me just make the map a little bit smaller. Cool. I can move these. Where should I move this? So I'm going to remove. Well, let's center this map, and so I'm going to say margin 0 auto. Okay, it's already working, and I can say padding top is 30 pixels, and padding bottom is 30 pixels. It's not working because I need display block, probably. No, it's not working. Wow. Well, I'm just going to add this to the map picker. I think the problem is that this is handled by the leaflet library. So removing everything in here. Okay, it's already sort of working, but I need margin auto in the map itself. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to remove the map title here. But as you can see, this map, well, first thing, if there is no location data, I don't want to see the map, right? So as you can see here, we have these controls, and if location is not existing, I just return. I return use effect must be the first thing executed, so nothing was returned from the renderer, so I probably need to render like an empty div or something. Okay, so if I don't have the map, I don't, well, this was an error. If I don't have the map location data, I don't render the map. But this is only happening for the activities we have defined before we add the map form. Anyway, so we have this error which I'm going to solve now. Say we have map instance.remove. Map container is being reused by another instance. Activity location. So let me see what this error even means. If I Google this, yeah, the container is being reused by another instance, and it's a leaflet specific error. So remove can run on already removed instances. It's being reused by another instance. So this is something from 2016. You cannot run map.remove when it has been already removed and the container is being reused by another instance, making both instances work in the same map container. What is a map container? So I think that like when so this happens, when does this happen? When I click like on a activity that has no location, and then I click on an activity that has a location. So if map instance return, let me say console.log map instance, because it seems like this code is running even though it should not run. So I'm going to open the console and then clicking Fun in London, camping at the lake. So we have the map instance, we add this. So, and then I click again Fun in London. So this is still, this is not null, but it should be null, because Oh, right. So if the location is not there, if the location is not there, there is one thing I need to do before returning like anything. I need to do this here, or first, before returning an empty div element, I need to set the map instance object here to null. Okay, I think that now I go Fun in London, Camping at the Lake, Fun in London, Camping at the Lake, and the bug is gone. Very cool. So I'm going to remove the console log here. The other thing I want to do in this video is I want to remove the map. So yeah, I actually removed the map here. That you remember there was this string that appeared in the page, but basically this meant that the activity detail was appearing. So I can say detail, and you can see we have this string here, even though we have no detail. So what I want to do is there is no current activity. So if there is no current activity, I'm going to return an empty div, which, let me see, test. No, it's not working. Why? So let me figure this out. Console.log current activity. I need to open the console. So, oh wow, so this is an empty object, and in addition it's looping forever. So I think that I saw a comment on a video that was telling me this problem. So let's solve both things. So current activity, I should not get an empty object, right? And I get this from the activities here, current activity. So current activity, okay, the thing is that it's an empty object when I start. If I set this to null, what happens? It works. So I'm just going to set this to null. And the other thing is that, so and now I need to remove this test thing, but let me see if I still get the infinite. Yes, I got this infinite thing. So this component is being re-rendered forever with no end in sight. Let me see if this also happens here. So yes. So what am I doing? What am I doing here? So activities. Yeah, the problem is use effect, and I need to set like this. Okay, I need to pass in init activities, otherwise I can't access that, and also set activities. So this was a problem with the use effect hook. Yeah. Well, why does it say that I have an unnecessary dependency here? It seems to work fine. Let me go into the activity, to the activities code, and I'm going to add back the infinite console log, and now it's not going to repeat indefinitely. And this was, yes, I remember this was a comment on a YouTube video, so I think this is solved. I'm done, because I wrote a blog post on React hooks where I say this explicitly, and I keep forgetting even what I write. So. And I solved this problem like in the previous video, I think, or in the one before. So we can wrap this. We did it. We have a map here. If the location does not have a map, we don't show it. We can switch and the map is recreated. Pretty cool. So see you in the next video.